Wednesday, meaning it's Joe Steckler Day, helping seniors of Brevard. Joe continues to recuperate after his knee surgery, but in his place, myself, John Harper, and Kerry Fink. Hi, Kerry.
Hey, John Harper, how are you doing today? And hopefully Joe is going to be able to call in someplace during the hours what he was talking about when we did Helping Seniors update on yesterday. So Joe is doing great. We had a nice, really, I would call yesterday's Helping Seniors update kind of a thank you. Thank you to Mark Pylock and his amazing team at the American Muscle Car Museum, AJ Hires and his full team with all the dealerships. They really got behind and helped us do everything. And we were just talking before the show, you know, we just posted out on Facebook a picture, Eric Swist, who is one of AJ's fantastic people, who he works at the Chevrolet dealership, and he posted out a picture of our winner, Troy Darling, of Indian Atlantic, Florida, and apparently he decided he was going to go Chevy Camaro.
That was a beautiful Camaro. We stood in front of that Saturday during the broadcast, and boy, I was checking that out. I really would like to have one of those myself. That was quite a car.
Yeah, and I think it's that particular one we were standing in front of. You go back and check out the videos. They're all on the Helping Seniors YouTube page. They're also on the Helping Seniors Facebook page. But it was that beautiful convertible style, and it was like, wow, what a great looking car. I remember Eric giving a tour of that car for the camera, and so now this person has. I guess he posted out. He's like, this is the only car like that in the Southeast. So I guess there was something special about that particular one. But anyway, it's all on our Facebook post. There at Helping Seniors.
Well, what was special about it was it had air conditioning in the seats. I'd never heard of that before. I've heard of heaters, but not AC.
Well, and that would be, you know, if you think about it, what it's so pleasant to drive around in a convertible, but sometimes when you have the sun beating down on you, what a great idea to have AC in the seats.
Yeah, so maybe that's why it was very unique, but nonetheless, a beautiful car. Chevrolet and General Motors has put together quite a muscle car there to compete with Dodge and their muscle cars. So,
you know, we were laughing. I actually put it out. I said, you know, I guess this means this is the setup for the rematch of Dodge versus Chevy Challenge, because Joe is already working. Mark had talked about he's going to give us a date in October for the next car drawing, and Joe and AJ, they're all putting their heads together, figuring out how this is all going to come together. And of course, as you know, don't throw away your Helping Seniors car raffle tickets. In fact, in a little bit, we're going to give you a chance to buy some more. The car raffle is over for 2020, but if you didn't get a chance to get a ticket, or maybe you thought you need an extra ticket to bring a friend, Mark is setting up those dates where you're going to be able to use your Helping Seniors car raffle tickets from 2020 and come by and tour the museum at leisure as his guest. He even said, look, I'll get pizza and soda and refreshments for everybody. I want seniors to really be able to have a nice time and relax and enjoy everything safely, because as you know, we couldn't have them out there. You know, we have masks on and trying to do everything with social distancing and be as correct as we can with everything and keep seniors safe.
Apparently everyone was listening to our announcements over the last several months of the car museum not being open the night of the drawing. In past years, we've had well over 1,000 people in attendance, right?
Oh, yeah. I think last year it was over 2,000. And, you know, Mark was telling us when Mark had asked if he could meet with us on the planning. This was like several weeks before, and they were trying to figure out what we could safely do. And Mark said, you know, you guys actually set the record. He said, now we have a Veterans Day where Mark invites veterans to come out to the museum. He said that's probably the highest attended event, but he said that's spread out through an entire day. Yours was an event, you know, specifically for a giveaway. And he said we've never had that many people in the building at the same time as when you guys have the seniors raffle for the car raffle. And he said, I'm surprised at how well behaved and everything just went smoothly with all that. So he's very kindly said, you know, you guys are welcome back. So it's great.
That sure is. That's great news. And already, as you said, Kerry, planning for 2021 and the car raffle that will take place in October of next year.
Yeah, I'm already hearing from our team of car drivers that had so much fun with that Dodge versus Chevy Challenge that they are up for the rematch. So I guess sooner or later we'll circle back for all that. But we have more fun stuff coming up ahead. that is actually very important because we don't have the final numbers, but I know when I was doing the update with Joe yesterday, Joe Steckler, our president and founder, without his leadership and guidance, there really wouldn't be. Helping Seniors, we're now in our 10th year of providing that senior information helpline and helping people throughout Brevard County, trying to find resources or get connected to the right things that are going to make a difference. But Joe said that this has been the most single successful Helping Seniors fundraiser to date. I think that's pretty amazing and I think kind of providential given the fact that, COVID and everything going on and the need for Helping Seniors is greater than ever. So really so happy that everybody stepped up to help make sure that this goes so that we can continue to offer that service here in Brevard County.
Yeah, Kerry, totally amazing in the fact that this, out of the last 9 years, Helping Seniors of Brevard and the fundraisers that we've had, this was the best one to date. And the final number still isn't in, but we know it was a record breaker.
Right.
And that is truly amazing considering what our entire country and the world is going through right now with the pandemic.
Yeah. And, but we live in a county where 1 in 4 is over 65 and 1 in 2, if you use ARP definition, is over 50. So that's why this work is so important. And it was funny because I remember when you were talking with a board-certified elder law attorney, Bill Johnson, who came out. You guys had a great chat out at AJ's Dodge dealership up there in Merritt Island. And I remember him saying, yeah, he's been part of Joe's things. Joe has done art auctions. He's done rug auctions and painting, all sorts of things, because it's a lot of work.
Wine.
It's a lot of work to keep a nonprofit. Everybody just assumes that the government writes some sort of a big check, and that's how nonprofits go, and that's not at all how it works.
But nonetheless, we want to thank all of the people who helped make this car raffle that took place last Saturday, the 10th of October, make it such a great success. We're very happy, very proud of what the folks did throughout the community, throughout the state, and really made a difference in helping the organization and helping the organization really get bigger and better now. And it's truly amazing.
Yeah, it is. And so I was thinking when you and Bill were having that conversation, and Bill, Joe has assembled such a tremendous team that have been connected and supportive of the work of seniors in Brevard County for years and years. Yourself, you got Joe into radio. We've joked about Dr. Sheldon. Got Joe started in TV because originally Joe was a guest on Dr. Sheldon's TV show years ago. And even Bill has been behind the scenes and really helping Joe with everything senior-oriented. But when you guys were talking about fundraisers, this is one of the things that I remember years ago Joe and I talked about, and I'm excited to get into the meat and potatoes of our show because this is about something that Joe had envisioned years ago, because we've talked about, particularly in COVID, seniors can tend to be isolated. It's one of the biggest challenges for seniors. When we did a advocacy council needs assessment, I was surprised to see, you would think people would say it's very important I get the right medical. It's very important I get the right transportation or the right housing. But I was really surprised to see how high up this challenge of isolation and people really wanted social activities and things like that. I was really surprised to see that was in the top 5 of the things that seniors said was very important to them. And that's what I think this next thing that we're going to talk about today really targets. And what I'm talking about, Joe had always mentioned, wouldn't it be great if we could have the Helping Seniors Travel Club and a way for people to travel together with other people from Brevard County and to do it safely and to do it effectively. And so that's why I'm so honored to introduce our guest for today. It is none other than Chris Morse with Travel Center USA, but he's also the head of the Helping Seniors Travel Club. So welcome, Chris. How are you?
Well, good morning to you.
So we are so excited because, I'm not overstating it. When years ago, Joe was familiar. There was a radio personality who did a local travel club, and he would, whenever there would be a cruise, he would have, a large number of people from Brevard County travel, and they got to be great friends because, as you know, if you go on a cruise or a travel with a group of folks, you end up making lifelong friends. But usually at the end of the trip, everybody hops on an airplane and they go back to their respective corner of the country. And then nobody is able to stay in touch until the next, cruise or travel, or meanwhile it's postcards or Facebook. And so this is great because when you travel with people from your own area, several things happen. You get to have that same friendship experience, but now you can go out next week and have dinner together or something.
Yeah, seniors love to be with other seniors and go to places and have the clubs that they do. And there's even Senior Scene magazine, they have about 10 or 15 senior clubs. They all love to get together. So that's why we put together this great cruise coming up on 2/21/21.
Yeah, and that's what I'm so excited to talk about, because there's two things Joe has wanted to do. One is he always thought this would be a great idea if we could get together a Helping Seniors Travel Club so that we could all travel as friends from Brevard County and see some great things together. But the other thing Joe has always wanted to do from the beginning of this is create the Helping Seniors Foundation. And if you remember Joe's history, John, I know you remember this because you lived it with Joe. When Joe was putting together everything and getting the Joe's Clubs established, that took a tremendous amount of resources to be able to move that from a concept to the reality where it's serving seniors even of today. And, he established that foundation, the endowment for the Brevard Alzheimer's. And from the very get-go, he said, we need to do the same thing for helping seniors. So in perpetuity, the Helping Seniors organization can create services for seniors, decades from now. And so what we talked about was maybe the first thing we ought to do with the Helping Seniors Travel Club is let's use that as the tool to begin the whole process of the endowment and the foundation. So that's why we call this cruise the 2021 Foundation Cruise for Helping Seniors of Brevard, because this is our inaugural event and this is our effort to begin the Helping Seniors Endowment Fund. And you want to talk a little bit about the cruise, I guess, is maybe where we start. A lot of people, maybe let's back up a notch and let's talk about COVID and cruising and what happened in all that.
Well, Kerry, we've been blessed to be one of the largest senior travel organizations in the U.S., and we help most of the seniors here in Brevard County. So we're very blessed to be able to work with Helping Seniors of Brevard. And when Joe and I got together originally, he did mention the foundation. So I reached out to all of the travel vendors here in the Florida market. We have 5 cruise ports, but Port Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. I reached out to all the vendors, all the cruise vendors, and they all said they would love to help support Helping Seniors of Brevard when we book cruises. So our first cruise is on February 21st of 21. And what has happened, the cruise lines have gone to the CDC. Mm-hmm. They have presented all of their plans, mm-hmm. how they're going to protect all of the clients and their support staff on board the ship. Mm-hmm. Those plans have been approved.
Oh, good.
So the CDC is now saying, okay, well, our Don't Sail will end maybe in the end of October. We'll be able to open up in November. But most of the cruise lines, as you know, have sent all their helps and support staff back home.
Right.
And that's usually in Europe or in Asia. So it's going to take a month or so for them to get their cruise ships back in order, all cleaned up, ready to go. So we're looking at probably Christmas cruises on forward.
Good.
And the only thing that's going to change is when you pull up to the port to drop off your luggage, you have to wear a mask. Mm-hmm. When you go through the facility to check in, you have to wear a mask. Mm-hmm. When you get on board, you have to wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask in your cabin. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wear a mask at dinner.
Okay.
But when you're with a lot of different people walking, we should be able to still wear our mask. We'll be tested before we get on board the ship. Mm-hmm. We'll be tested during the cruise. All the cruise staff will be tested on a daily basis, mm-hmm. and they will be an area on board the ship in case somebody does get mm-hmm. sick, whether it's COVID or something else. There will mm-hmm. be a special place on board the ship that they will be placed in a cabin, protected mm-hmm. from all the other passengers. So they're going way out, and our February 21st cruise should be a great cruise to take. Mm-hmm. They did a survey. CLIA, the Cruise Line International Association, did a survey, And 95% of the people surveyed, over 4,000 people, said they want to get out as soon as possible.
Well, you made the observation in an update that we had done not long ago that really cruise ships will be probably safer than
Right.
your home if you think about it, because the cruise lines are going to be sure that they do everything 100% by the book, keep people safe, because they know it's also important to seniors, but it's also important to the cruise line's reputation, John.
Chris, do you happen to know whether or not once the cruise industry starts cruising again, will the crew members be required to wear masks?
Crew members will be required to wear masks in all of the public areas, absolutely. And they'll be tested every day.
Excellent. Good deal.
I made the observation, John, that I remember we lived in New York City during 9/11, and I remember when we were contemplating taking those first flights, which was for us was like as soon as they started flying again, the observation was made, the skies are probably safer than they have ever been before, just because everybody was so vigilant, so careful, so aware. And I think that's exactly the experience we're going to have on the cruise lines. And one of the points to that, Chris, is that MSC Italian Cruises, the cruise line that we will be sailing with in February, they are Italy based, and they sail the Mediterranean. In fact, that's why a lot of people in America don't know the name. They're actually like the largest cruise line in Europe, but a little bit lesser known and a little bit newer name, and certainly brand new to Port Canaveral. But the point is, they've been actually already sailing and quite successfully out of Italy for like a month or two now.
Yeah, they've had 6 sailings out from Venice to Rome into Barcelona. And on every cruise ship, all of the rules and regulations have been adhered to by both passengers, which is really good,
Right.
and the crew. And all those 6 sailings have been extremely successful. Nobody has gotten sick.
Right.
Everything has been done perfectly. That's why MSC is so proud to be able to present our Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation cruise on February 21st, 2021. Not only will MSC donate back to the foundation, but we're going to have a special guest on board the ship.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have so much fun on board this. This is not only an opportunity to go sailing with your friends here in Brevard County, but we're also bringing a special guest on board that I'm gonna talk about in the second half of the show. We're going to come back and talk about the musical entertainment we're going to have on board. So, John?
Chris, you mentioned the cruise line has been sailing now in Italy for about a month, a little over a month. No incidents being reported, and they're exercising the utmost extreme caution in every aspect of trying to remain safe and not have the pandemic affect the passengers on the cruise ships. Prior to the pandemic, or back in January and February, when all hell broke loose, and some of the cruise ships were really in extreme trouble getting passengers off the ships, getting them back on shore. I remember it was a big deal seeing one of the cruise ships on the West Coast in San Francisco going under the San Francisco Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge, and the passengers were not sure how they were going to get off because they still were not allowed to. The point of my long-winded question was perhaps just jump off the side and swim away. But my question is, were the cruise ships lax in some of the cleanliness procedures prior to the pandemic compared to where they're at now? Are they obviously they're using precautions now that didn't exist before, but do you feel like some of the cruise ships were not adhering to good practices in hygiene and keeping the cruise ships safe for the passengers?
That's a really good question, and I've talked to a lot of the VPs and presidents of the cruise lines because I know them personally. And what they all said is when those ships were out at sea, we did not know about COVID.
Right.
And all of a sudden, COVID came on board. Either the passenger, probably the passengers brought it on. And when it hit the ships, they were all at sea, so they weren't sure what to do. It was brand new. We didn't know about COVID. We heard a little bit about it on the news. Remember, this is February. So all of the ships, all of a sudden, the government said, we don't know what's going on. We're afraid. We're gonna quarantine all the ships, all the passengers. And it was sort of like that ship with the Carnival ship that had the fire on board. They couldn't get into port for 4 days. They had to stay on the ship. So those things happen, but the difference between then and now on cruise safety is like 100% more.
And I was just going to weigh in on that too, because I was thinking that you have to put yourself back in the time. I realized the whole COVID question has become a political football these days, and I can respect that because it just is in every part of our lives, and how we, who would have thought we'd be sitting here in October wearing masks and all that. So I get that, and it's serious, and even our president of the United States has been through it. So, but at the time it was so new that nobody knew what to do. You had some people saying, no, it's fine, go out and have your party, it's not going to come here. And then you had other people saying, oh my goodness, we have to lock down everything. And I think the cruise ships, at least my experience has been, they have always put passenger safety
Correct.
at the absolute forefront of everything. And so I've been on ships where they've had certain non-lethal, like they've had a higher incidence of a certain virus or something. And so they will go into extreme cleaning measures and make sure that everything, they'll ramp everything up to meet the threat, and they're all successful. And as I've heard it explained to me before, some of the little trivial things, you can pick up at a local grocery store just as easy. It's just when you're in that cruise ship environment, while everybody's been eating here for a week. So that kind of thing. But I come back to the point that once everybody got a handle on this, number one, the ability to keep people safe by taking these precautions. And I was talking actually with Kelly McDavid Rallis, who is a home health care resources corporation. Her team goes in and out of seniors' homes on a daily basis, and they've got to keep people safe. And you think about it, they're traveling from home to home to home. So you think about what that risk is. But she said, you know what, Kerry? It's the universal precautions. When we do everything by the book and we're careful with our PPE, we're careful with the social distancing, we're careful with the hand washing, we're careful with the sanitizers, we're careful about wearing the masks, it all works,
MSC Cruise Lines, along with Royal Caribbean and NCL, stated that if the passengers do what they're supposed to do,
right,
together as a team when they're on board the ship, there will be absolutely no problems whatsoever.
Chris, it bears repeating. You mentioned a moment ago about the crew on the ships. They're being tested daily?
Daily.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it is really, when you think about it, that's why I come back to, when the ships are sailing again, just like they are now over in the Mediterranean, we know that they are going to be very, very careful to keep seniors safe and everybody on board safe, because they know, number one, they know how to do it, but they also know that they can't afford to take the chance. So when we get back on the second side of the break, for the second half of the Helping Seniors radio show, really want to talk about some of the entertainment and things that are going to be going on with that cruise. Plus, Chris, I think you have a couple other neat travel opportunities that you've got coming up in 2021 that are going to be of benefit for seniors. And we want to talk about the fact that by listening to this radio show, you're already a member of the Helping Seniors Travel Club. So wherever you go, this is going to be important for you, because you can support the work of helping seniors while you travel. So with that, John, we'll go to the second half.
All right, Kerry, thanks so much. We'll be back with more Helping Seniors of Brevard here on 90.3 FM after we check the weather and a few brief messages. You're listening to Helping Seniors of Brevard, a good conversation going on today. Kerry Fink is with me. I'm John Harper, and Kerry, our special guest, talking about the cruise industry.
That's right. We welcome back Chris Morse from the Helping Seniors Travel Club. And actually, Chris, you're a guy that goes back. You're like Joe, who has decades of experience in helping seniors, and you have decades of experience in helping seniors travel, because you've been doing this, like, I think you said since 82?
1982.
That's what I seem to remember. So, and then also you and your partner Betty, not only are you guys experts in having done this across these decades, you've seen all the changes and everything go on, but you're also you're also special needs certified in travel. So you're able to help people travel even if they thought maybe the complications of their particular situation would make it too difficult to travel.
Yeah, one thing, being a senior myself and Betty being a senior, we've grown into the senior market along with all the seniors.
Right.
And we've been able to solve. I would say about 1/4 of the customers that we deal with are seniors that thought they could never travel before.
Wow.
And after talking with us and being able to help them and telling them what facilities and what abilities they had at the different properties or on the cruise ships, they say, oh, well, let's try it. Let's try it. And they have become lifelong customers and friends, and they probably go out once or twice a year. Those are people that thought they could never travel.
You know, we did, there's several great television shows that we have done on the Helping Seniors television platform. By the way, you can pick up those shows 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on Space Coast Government TV. We air at 8:30 and then 4:30 and 5 o'clock. And if you have cable in Brevard County, you can catch Space Coast or broadcasts on Space Coast Government TV. You can also catch them anytime on demand, either at our website, helpingseniors.brevard.org, helpingseniors.brevard.org. You can find it on our YouTube page or Facebook page. Just search for Helping Seniors of Brevard, and you'll find us there too. But we did together some TV shows where you talked about cruising safely, even if you thought maybe travel days were past you and things like that. And you've been able to really help families do some wonderful family kind of travel where they thought that's not going to be possible for us because of, a limitation. I have this machine that has to travel with me, or different things like that.
Well, a lot of customers do have special needs requirements, and if they give me the list of special needs that they have, I can pick out the cruise ship or the land package that will fit their needs. Some cruise ships have wider doors than others. You have to know that, and a lot of travel agents don't know that. Also, how easy it is to get on board the ship and off the ship at the different ports, which is really important. Or the different hotels that we might send them at that might have handicapped availability to get up into the rooms or being on the same floor. I got a call from a past customer who booked direct with a hotel, and they forgot to tell them that they were handicapped, and they were on the 3rd floor.
Oh, dear Lord.
Without an elevator.
Wow.
So those things you just can't do. So that's what we talk about and work with our travel partners and our senior members to make sure that when they go on the trip, at least 90% of their trip is special needs required and supported.
So let me ask you, I'm going to ask you to give the phone number, and then I'm going to give everybody a minute to grab a notepad so we can take down some particulars. But let's start with giving you the number, but then I want to add something in on that.
Our phone number is 321-978-5211, and that'll reach me or Betty, my partner. And we're available probably from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day.
Yeah, you guys are so responsive. John?
Chris, when you mentioned that you try to customize your cruises and or the land trips to meet some of the particulars of people who thought they couldn't travel anymore, is it something that when you and Betty plan a trip for someone who has handicaps, do you first put them on perhaps a short weekend cruise to see how they do and then expand from there?
Sometimes that's a really good requirement. Sometimes we have people that have breathing machines that need extra batteries or support. Sometimes we have diabetics that need to be shot every day, and they need a refrigerator in their cabin and they forget to ask for it, so we make sure it's there. Those kinds of things we always ask about. If the senior really helps and answers all my questions, we will make every trip they take a trip of a lifetime.
That's excellent. That's good to know.
And I was going to say, that's one of the key points I wanted to bring out was when Joe and Chris and everybody, we sat down and tried to say, well, how does a Helping Seniors Travel Club work? Because of Chris's longstanding relationship with just basically every quality travel provider in the industry, he's made an arrangement that basically every time that you book a travel through the Helping Seniors Travel Club, at least some portion of that, which would other go to just profit line for a cruise company or something like that, will end up coming back to support the work of the Helping Seniors organization. So you're going to book the travel that you were going to book anyway, whatever that is. You maybe saw a special on the internet or something that looked really attractive. Give Chris a call. point them in the right direction, because you've explained that you're able to, not only are you able to meet or exceed that, but there's probably some benefit of you being able to do that as well, both for the traveler, but especially for the for helping seniors as well.
That's right. I've reached out to all the major travel vendors here in Florida and basically all over the world, but basically U.S. And I said, here's the foundation, here's what we want to do. They've all come back and said, Chris, we will give you the lowest prices. We will match or beat any internet rate. And we will also then donate back part of our profit, not added on to the booking, but part of their profit to helping seniors of Brevard Foundation.
Good.
Which is really nice.
Do we have Joe on the phone?
Yeah, Kerry, we've got Joe Steckler on the phone. Joe, are you there? Hello?
Hey, John, Kerry.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Okay, look, I got everybody on the phone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Just have Terry turn down the radio in the background. We're getting some feedback.
Okay, all right. Hey, you guys are having a really, really great show. But the reason I interrupted is because I want Chris to talk about something that will be sort of an add-on to what I'm going to talk about. And it's what they're capable of doing on the cruise ship. Just like a fire department can help us here in our local areas. I had my doggone knee replaced. All of you know that.
Yes.
And my right leg has got to have surgery too. But I finally got in a position this morning. I was going to the men's room, and my right leg just wouldn't support me. So I called for Terry, and she got I had to put a belt on, and my right leg just slowly collapsed, so it wouldn't hold me up. And here I am sitting on the can floor, and I can't move. So we called the fire department. Fire department was there within about 2 minutes, and they sent 3 guys. And those 3 guys knew exactly what to do. And they asked me what I wanted to do. I told them. They picked me up, put me in my roller chair, and wheeled me back out to my chair, got me in my chair, and they left. And it was that simple. But it serves a point, Chris, that you should make on cruise ships on what you're capable of doing for people that are handicapped, because I want them to know that they can do the same thing on a cruise ship that they just did for me and with the local fire department. And folks, if you got a problem, call your local fire department, tell them what should had happen, and if they can possibly see a way that they could help you get out of the situation you're in, they will fix you up right away. So that's what I wanted to call about, because I think it's so important we talk about these things. And then, heck, after all these years, 20 years, I have it happen to me. So I want people to know that these guys really know what they're doing, and they will help you. So
Let me interrupt, Joe.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. When we board the cruise, prior to the cruise, we will send out documentation to all of the seniors that are going on the trip. We will tell them all the things they need to know, and part of that is when you get on the ship, you get into your cabin mate or you will have a particular phone number that you can dial up, and they will be responsive on the cruise ship. And they will dial a certain number, and within probably 2 to 3 minutes, there will be a support staff there to help any senior that needs to be helped with a walker, a cane, a mobile machine, batteries for their equipment, helping with shots for diabetes. They do have a full operation room and a medical center on board the ship. So within 2 to 3 minutes, the fire department won't be there, but the cruise ship staff will be.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that and say the experience that I've seen on cruise ships over time has been that you will just find that the help on board is geared towards the senior population. They understand the challenges that seniors have on all fronts. We've traveled back in the day. We traveled with both of our mothers who were getting on in years, and it was very helpful to know. I actually felt very comfortable knowing that our mothers were on a cruise ship, even though they were in different cabins down the hall, etc., that they could get help that was necessary at any time. I mean, we were there, but I mean, they could access and the full, they have a beautiful medical facility on the ships, and they're really equipped to deal with almost anything. So I always tell people, like, being on a cruise ship is like being in a great hotel. Your hotel wakes up in a different city every day. You have great service, great food, and great support for everything you need. So kind of with that, if it's all right, let's zip back into what's happening February 21st. And why don't you just open us up? We're going to talk about entertainment, but let's talk a little bit about the cruise. One of the things that you were able to negotiate and set up for us with the Helping Seniors Foundation cruise was the fact that it's right here. We don't have to get on an airplane to get to the cruise ship. We don't have to get down to Miami. We can go right over to Port Canaveral and board the ship.
That's right. It's going to be out of Port Canaveral on the 21st of February. We're going to go to some great ports. If you look at the current Senior Scene magazine, there's a full-page article on it, so you can take a look at it. But what we've done for the seniors is we've included, the MSC has allowed us to include the cabin, all the port charges, all the taxes, travel insurance, gratuities, any other kinds of fees that you have all in one price. So as low as $760 per person, they can be on board the ship with all the special activities we're going to have just for Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation, and it's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, I think this is a point that I want to be careful, because people will see prices on the internet and it says, oh, you can get on the ship and it's this much. And if you ever start to click through and work your way through it, all these add-ons come. They quote you a price for your cabin. Then the next screen, you have to add in your port charges and your government taxes and fees. Then there's probably another screen that pops up, says, well, do you want to buy travel insurance? And then there's probably another a screen that will pop up and start asking you, well, do you want to prepay your gratuities?
Right.
And you start adding all these things up, and that what looked like one number suddenly is ballooned to something you didn't really imagine. And that's the thing that I like what you've done here, Chris, is you've already rolled all of that into this price. By the time you get your cabin on the MSC, the Helping Seniors Foundation cruise, that price is what you pay. You've paid your gratuities, you've paid your insurance, you've done everything, right?
Exactly. And the good thing is that MSC is now going to donate back to the Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation, not out of the package here, but out of their own profit, which is great. And again, our price includes everything. There's nothing that the senior would have to pay on board except for...
If you decide to buy alcohol or something like that.
Alcohol, or they want to buy a trinket to bring home, or the shore excursions. If they want to go on the shores excursions, we can't include that because we don't know what each senior wants.
So all gratuities are included in that?
Correct. And those are like $13, $14 a day on most cruise ships. So
and that's per person, yes.
Yeah, per person. So when you get all that included in the price that Chris is talking about, before you go exactly what you're gonna pay. And the other thing I like, you mentioned the lead-in price, but for those of us that like to travel in a balcony cabin, I was amazed at how affordable you were able to get a balcony. To me, it sounded like you were able to get a balcony cabin for what most people normally would pay just for a smaller inside cabin.
That's correct. They gave us a really good price on a balcony cabin, including everything. It looks like it's going to be $900 per person, including all the taxes, port charges, gratuities, all the fees, all the meals, all the entertainment, even our special entertainment that we're going to talk about.
Right. Now think about what he just said. This is a 7-night cruise. So you're going to be able to cruise, be fed till you can't eat anymore.
Yeah, nine meals a day.
I mean, and when you do that math, take the 900, divide it by 7 or whatever, you couldn't get a hotel probably for that kind of a price. And when you think about that, this includes your meals, all the entertainment. MSC has world-class entertainment, let alone the things that we're going to be bringing to the table. But just MSC is known for having fantastic entertainment on board. The Great Caribbean sailing with beautiful ports of call. It's going down to, I think, it goes to Cozumel, right? And it goes to Georgetown, Grand Cayman, I think.
Right, Cozumel. their own private island, which is rated one of the top private islands in the world.
Right. That's like having your own private island in the Bahamas. And
it's like a mini Disneyland.
Yeah, that's going to be fun by itself. So you're going to have all these great things to do on the ship. And when you're saying to me that you can get a balcony cabin for like $900 a person, that's like what most people pay. And again, that's $900 including everything, all your fees, everything.
And the good part about it is if we can get your booking by the 20th of November, MSC is going to give you $50 extra onboard credit that you can spend at the bar or at the casino or maybe at the gift shop. And also for those seniors that love Wi-Fi while they're gone to keep in touch with their families, that'll also be complimentary.
Wow. Because if you've ever been cruising recently, you know when you buy the Wi-Fi package on board, that by itself can run $10 or $20 a day. So they're going to give you that for no charge if you go ahead and book by what date did you say?
The 20th of November.
So we're going to go ahead and talk about the entertainment and the things that we have planned from the Helping Senior side. But let's give the phone number. So if you got a pencil handy, let's go ahead and get that.
Phone number to get more information on the cruise or to book the cruise, call Chris or Betty at 321-978-5211. We're there from 8 a.m. to about 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we love to work with seniors.
And also a real simple way to check out some more details on this is HelpingSeniorsTravelClub.com, HelpingSeniorsTravelClub.com. And when you get to that page, there's actually a spot where you can click through and you can take a look at what we're talking about, which is this February 21st, 2021, or I like to say it this way, 2/21/21, the Helping Seniors first, I hope it's going to be annual foundation cruise that we're going to try to use to kick off what Joe has always wanted to do from the get-go of this organization, which is create that Helping Seniors Foundation. And so that the work of helping seniors can work in perpetuity. So let's talk a little bit about entertainment that we've got coming on board. One of the things when you travel, when you pick this particular cruise, a couple of things are happening. Number one, you're sailing with friends from Brevard. So you've got support. First of all, you've got the support of Chris and Betty and their decades of experience because you guys are going to be on the sailing with us, right?
Yes, we are.
So any things that come up, you don't have to call a 1-800 travel line where you book this thing on the internet. You've got the people that know the ship inside and out, know travel inside and out, know senior travel inside and out, know special needs travel inside and out, and they're right there on the ship with us every step of the way. So that's got to be one point. Number two, you're going to be sailing with a lot of your friends from Helping Seniors. We're looking forward to being on board and enjoying just a great week with folks from the Helping Seniors team. And many of the sponsors, I think, are going to be joining us as well. We're going to talk about that, too, before we're through. But the third thing is you're going to be traveling with a lot of friends or new friends or friends you didn't know you're going to have when you get on board the ship and sail with us, because you even have a way for people that may not necessarily have somebody to travel with to be able to do this, right?
Yeah, if you're a single and you want to go on the cruise, we have a way we can match you up with another single lady or another single man. We put you guys in touch with each other. You can talk to each other, and if you want to have a cabin together, we can put you together so you can go on the cruise, meet other singles, be with a single lady or a single guy in your cabin. So it's going to be really a wonderful way to travel.
Yeah, over the years, I know you guys have seen this too, but over the years as we've traveled, we have seen people meet up on cruise ships, and then we get a wedding invitation a year later. Because that's just the fun thing about cruising is people get to really spend some time together, and then when they go home, like I said, if it's a routine cruise, everybody gets on a jet plane and goes back home or something. Here, everybody comes back to Brevard County, so you could have lunch or dinner with them next week if you guys hit it off. And it's just a nice way to travel. So all that's there. But then we decided to take it one step further. We asked a friend of ours who is an excellent entertainer. If you've ever enjoyed the sounds of big band, I know the tune that we often use here on the Helping Seniors radio show is Glenn Miller tune, String of Pearls. And what a great song that is. Nobody can get in the studio without starting to bounce around when they hear that come on the radio. It's just a great song. But she sang actually with the Glenn Miller Orchestra, toured the world with the Glenn Miller Orchestra. She also has sung with Les Brown and the Band of Renown in the shows in Branson and sailing the Seven Seas. And then on top of that, she's worked with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. And she's kind of a star in her own right. Everybody remembers this song that came up in the early 70s. Everybody calls it the Coca-Cola song. And the song was I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. And it was by a group called the Hillside Singers. And Lori Hafer and her mother were part of the Hillside Singers. In fact, Lori was one of the lead singers that you hear on the song together with the Shaw Brothers and the Marino Brothers. They met up the Hillside Singers. And Lori Hafer and her husband, Mike Hafer, who's a brilliant jazz pianist. You may have seen him up at Heidi's Club up in Cocoa, Heidi's Jazz Club. They are going to be sailing with us and presenting entertainment for our Helping Seniors family on board the ship.
That's correct. And it's going to be a wonderful way for the seniors to get together to see a show just for the seniors. This is going to be just for the seniors. We'll probably be in the big showroom or one of the other rooms that they have for dancing. And it's going to be wonderful, and that's all included in the price of our Foundation cruise, which is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, so let's go over like the basic pricing details and the phone numbers to get a hold of you, Chris, about this travel and any other travel that somebody might be thinking of.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing some other cruises during the summertime where the grandparents can bring not their kids, but their grandkids during the summer. That'll be a lot of fun, and that'll be also out of Port Canaveral. We're trying to work with Royal Caribbean to see if they can give us a really good price, plus donate back to the foundation.
Right.
So they're going to try to offer us the lowest prices plus a donation. But our cruise on February 21st, the opening price for an inside cabin is $760 all inclusive, all the way up to $1,300 if somebody wants to get one of those fabulous suites on board the ship.
Yeah, well, that's living in the tall grass, as they say. But
Yes.
but really, if you think about it, you did a magnificent job of creating an affordable cruise experience. You don't have to buy an airplane ticket. You just got to get somebody to get you to the port. We have plenty of good contacts on transportation and things like that through the Helping Seniors info line. But you can absolutely do this cruise, have a great time, travel with people from Brevard County. And you're really, the most important part of this, if we cycle back to what Joe was talking about when he was on the phone with us a little bit earlier, Joe has always tirelessly advocated for seniors. And the reason that Helping Seniors as an organization is so important is because the number of people who turn 65 every day is, I think the statistic is like 1 every 7 seconds across the United States. So the baby boomers, just like you said, you grew up in the travel business, but now you're traveling with seniors because you are a senior.
Yes.
And that's the way it is. And so this is why the work of Helping Seniors is so important, and why we try to think of ways that we can have fun, but at the same time, we're furthering the work of what Kim Bernard, our education specialist, does every day. She takes all these tough calls from seniors in really complex situations. It has everything to do with housing, transportation, financial, legal, medical. And because of the network, her and Joe are able to solve an amazing amount of these cases. And so when you get involved and you say, listen, I could book my travel anywhere, but I'm going to give Chris a call and tell him, here's what I'm thinking about doing. Can you help me with that? Then some of that proceeds are going to actually go into the work of Helping Seniors. And for sure, if you'll consider joining the Shipboard Fund on February 21st, you will be actually helping us establish history in creating that Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation. And that is so important because, again, some people just say, I want to pay it forward. That's one way and some other people say, I want to give back. However you look at it, you're doing the right thing by helping the work of Helping Seniors, Chris.
And the big thing about this is you're going to take a trip, you're going to plan a cruise, you're going to do something regarding travel. If you just give us an opportunity to match or beat anything that you book or would like to see or like to do, we will match and beat that rate and also donate back to the Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation. So that's a great thing.
So important. One more time, the phone number to call Chris.
321-978-5211. Just say that you're a senior and we will know and set you up with a fabulous cruise and any kind of packages that you'd like in 2021 or 2022.
That sounds great. Well, John, I hope you're packing your bags and getting ready to come along.
I'll tell you, this sounds really exciting, and looking forward to being able to cruise again. There's no better way to travel than taking a cruise.
It's the best. So on behalf of Joe Steckler and Kim Bernard and our whole team, I think we're running up against the top of the hour, but it's been fun talking travel with Chris Morse and also John Harper.
It has been fun. We look forward, Kerry, to our conversation next week here on Helping Seniors of Brevard. Heard every Wednesday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock, right here on WEJF. And Kerry and Chris, good afternoon, and we'll see you on the radio soon.
Thank you.
Let's go cruising.
You got it.